This is your 52-day Destiny check-in, and you are jamming. You are staying on top of your 52-day check-in, staying on top of what it means to you, looking at it, figuring out what's going on in your life, and I appreciate you for that, and I know you appreciate yourself for it. So you're in your Mars 52-day period right now, and that started July 16th, and it's going to go up until September 6th. So anything that you see, let's get started with that. So your 52-day period, again, is July 16th to the September. So it's the 9 of Spades, and it's in your Mars period. This period can bring a difficult lawsuit or problems dealing with some man or a group of males. A headstrong attitude or recklessness can bring troubles in work and health during this period. Illness can interfere with work also. Be wary of all associations with men and try to settle difficulties out of court, as these are not favored by this influence. By adopting a more universal, unselfish attitude in these areas, you may find great success. Look to your other Mars cards. See, I knew that before I opened this book up, to find out what or who is involved in this challenge or endings that may arise during this period. Also, keep in mind that a positive card such as a 4, 8, or a 10 would tell you that regardless of the challenges present, you are likely to have a happy and productive outcome of the situations that present themselves during the 52-day period. So I am definitely going to go and get that. I'm telling you, when I look at me, see, I got to listen to God, okay? Because when I first started, I was like, wait a minute, I know that she got some, like your other long range cards the last time. So I'm like, let me look and see what I'm supposed to do. So God said, give her both Mars cards. So I'm like, well, I want to make sure that, and I believe it's an 8. I really do believe it's an 8 though. So it said 4, 8, or 10. But so I looked at it and then I said, no, let me go look at her last video. So I went and looked at your last video, and I saw that you got your Pluto and Result card. I said, well, I want to give her her environmental and her displacement card. But listen, God said, I told you to do what I told you to do. Okay, so let me tell you some more about this 9 while we on it. So the 9 of Spades can be a card of loss and disappointment. However, the true nature of the card reveals that its presence in your life for any period of time does not have to be a disaster. In actuality, the 9 of Spades represents making a completion of some importance. Whether this is the end of a certain occupation, way of life, or way of being with your health and body will depend upon the position of the card and the circumstances in your life at the time. But rest assured that some important aspect of your life is coming to an end with this potent card when this potent card shows up. This is also one of the death cards, and indeed, when this card shows up, there will be a death in your life of some kind. We go through many deaths in the course of our lifetime, and just like the snake shedding its skin, arrive at a new and better place each time we do so. Therefore, the 9 of Spades is not a card to be feared, but instead a card to be welcomed. It always has the ability to clear away all the unwanted and unless useless debris in our life and put us back on a new course where we are much more enlivened and satisfied. So don't look at this as, all death, like I said, look, all death ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? Because if you closing out a chapter that you don't need to be in, honey, baby, boo, let's go. Let's kill it. Let's put it down. Honey, yes. So God was telling me right. You are 8 of Hearts in the Mars period. So the 8 of Hearts is a gift of charm and power among groups, especially where males predominate. Okay, so you didn't shut them down. Dynamic, aggressive charm will contribute to success in social and business endeavors during this period. Be careful that you do not overdo the social scene to the detriment of either your health or your work. As Mars energy can be very stimulating, apply this gift to your work goals to get the most out of it. The powerful and overcoming influence of this card is strong and will bring a happy and successful period for you, even if the indications of your other Mars card are more challenging. Even if your other Mars card indicated a challenge or a problem. This card guarantees that you will overcome it and that the result will be a positive one. A positive card in the other position will further strengthen the influence of this card and could tell you who or what you will experience such success with during this time, this 52 52 day period. Now, that is wonderful and that is awesome because I knew I was supposed to do that. So the basic meaning of the Eight of Hearts is a card of considerable emotional power, charm, and personal magnetism. So this power could be used to bring you success in any activities that deal with groups of people, such as acting or sales work. It also can indicate, it is an indicator of having healing energy, a special spiritual force gathering in you, a force you can use to better your life in many ways. When this card is present, this power is available to use at your discretion, and you can use it to better your life in many ways. When this card is present, the power is available to use at your discretion. The Eight of Hearts will give you the power to get your way with people, both personally and professionally. It can bring you more social fun, better intimate relationships, or more success in your business. So this card was, see, it does, listen, God said, I said, listen to me. And so I had to do what he said. Okay. So you got it. And that was so good for you. So your daily card is in Uranus, and you can have some unexpected things, events that may rock your expectations, but then it's going to bring in some good things too, you know, in a way. So this Queen of Heart, honey, you got some more hearts going on. The Queen of Hearts is a card with many significant meanings. On one hand, it represents the devoted mother and thus can indicate a time when a woman conceives or gives birth to a child. It also can be the indicator of marriage or a man or a woman, especially as a Venus long range or result card. Well, this is just a daily card. It is also the card of sexual enjoyment and romantic fantasy. You can bet that when it appears, one or more of these qualities will be present in your life. The only negative manifestation of the Queen of Hearts may be a tendency towards laziness, fantasizing, or self-indulgence. It could cause someone to put on some weight or overdo it sexually or otherwise. But baby cakes, this is just a daily card. Let's see. Kinky sex may also be indicated. But like I said, it's a daily card, so it's not a lot for you to worry about. Just tap into your love side, your into that energy, and don't forget that if something unexpected happened today, this card is gonna take over it. Okay, you still gonna be okay. Now you have this Five of Hearts is your environmental card, which is a long range card. The environmental card is something where it's a protective card. It started on your birthday. It's going to go all the way until your next birthday. Okay. So, it's more of a protection. It's something about, good things and things like that. So I know the Five of Hearts though is also a divorce card. So let's see what is going, environmental, how it's going to play out in your life this year. So travel, moves, changes of residence, and even the changes in your relationship status will tend to have a very positive effect this year and could be some source of many blessings. If you are planning a divorce or change of location, this is the year you can proceed ahead with assurance of a happy outcome. You will likely feel somewhat restless emotionally or otherwise this year, which will in turn lead to an expansion of your current situation. So I knew that Five of Hearts was a divorce card, baby, because honey, child, that's in my life spread. But anyway, just whatever you sense, let it go. And like I said, go ahead. The Five of Hearts speaks of changes and restlessness in your heart that can manifest in many ways. At the deepest level, you will probably be feeling a dissatisfaction with your current relationship or home situation and desire some sort of change. The same dissatisfaction may extend to your living situation. Many people move to a new home or living environment under the influence of this card. Hearts represents home and family just as much as it does our romantic relationships. The Five of Hearts in any period could indicate this sort of move. When this card appears, there's always a chance of a separation or divorce with someone you love, but there is an equal possibility that you will be taking a trip or moving to a new home. The highest manifestation of this card is that of going out and meeting new people, telling others about what you are doing and who you are. You can make important contacts with this card around. So beautiful. So take it. You remember, this is the environmental card. So all good things is supposed to come from this card. So you have another yearly card, which is a Jack of Clubs. It's called your displacement card. It's neither good or bad. It's just lets you know that throughout this year, up until your next birthday, how that this is going to be prove to be some importance in your life. Creative projects that you may be involved in this year could prove to be a burden at times and take more time and energy that you anticipated. Also, dealings with others who are less than honest could also prove challenging. Maybe that's those men. Okay, it will be in your best interest to remain straightforward with all of your personal and business relationships this year and resist any temptations to get involved in anything dishonest or underhanded. Though this may actually be a successful year by most standards, those sorts of involvements may undermine your efforts or cause damage in other areas. Men of the club suit who are romantically involved may find this area of their life to be somewhat challenging this year. That's not you. And your card is not even a club. So that's your birth card. When what is happening on a deeper level is that you are being called upon to rise up to a new level of communication, thinking, and perception, one that is based upon higher principles and more philosophies that challenge you to make some changes in your life along these lines. Hey, contact with spiritual people, books, workshops, etc. will be helpful in this regard. Hey, that's me. Watch for a tendency towards stubbornness this year. A fixed mind has no room for new information or changes. Fixed means that you don't care what nobody say, what they doing, you're going to keep doing the same thing over and over. So you don't want to have that mindset. The basic meaning of the Jack of Clubs is that it tells us that you will be dealing with some very creative and youthful energies. This is one of the most mentally creative cards in the deck, and as such bestows a certain amount of success. This would apply especially to those involved in a mental or communication related occupation. Sometimes when the lack of clubs is present, we are confronted with some new form of knowledge or information that has a transformative effect on our life. We could be lifted up to a new level of thinking by exposure to spiritual or some other form of knowledge or information. Of course, the Jack of Clubs is also the personality card for all male of the club suit. So that's not you, so that's good. The Jack of any suit is always romantic, creative, persuasive, and youthful, but also can be irresponsible, crafty, or downright dishonest. In this regard, the Jack of Clubs is no exception. So that's why I was telling you, since this is in your deck this year for your birthday, just pay attention to that. You also want to pay attention to clubs males, because those can be those males that you were going to possibly run into that was going to cause some discord. Okay, so you got it going on, girl. You got it going on. Everything seems like it's going to be good for you. Thank you again for checking in. And within that 52 days, if you feel something and you want to do, you remember I got the Hoodoo Tarot cards. I have the Spirit Within cards. I have moon cycle things. So, if you want to check in between, but right now, girl, you got it going on. So, any spiritual things that you need, let me know, because remember, you're rising to a new height spiritually. I love you, girl. Have a beautiful and peaceful day.